We all have the same amount of time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But have you ever wondered, why are some people able to achieve extraordinary things in their lives, while others feel like they're going nowhere? The answer is simple. It all depends on how we use our time. Life is too short to be spent on unimportant things. Unfortunately, many of us are unaware that our daily habits often waste our precious time. In this video, I'll discuss the 6 biggest habits that you might unknowingly do. These habits, if left unchecked, can lead to regrets later in life, but don't worry. I'll also share tips on how to overcome them so you can be more productive and happy. Curious? Let's dive into them one by one, and don't forget to watch until the end, because I have an important message you won't want to miss. Watching too much TV and social media. The first habit that often wastes time without us realizing it is excessive TV watching and social media use. Wait, hold on. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch TV or check Instagram, but it's important to remember that TV and social media are like double-edged swords. When used wisely, they can be helpful. Overuse, though, that's where the danger lies. For example, watching the news to stay informed is great, but staying up late watching TV and losing track of time, that's where problems start. The same goes for social media. If you use it for personal branding, online selling, or learning something new, that's productive. But endlessly scrolling without purpose and losing track of time, that's wasting time. You've probably experienced this. You pick up your phone just to check notifications, but then you get caught up scrolling and suddenly an hour has passed, delaying your tasks. Sound familiar? That's what we need to avoid. So how can you prevent overindulging? Here are some tips. 1. Set a specific time for watching TV or using social media. For example, 1 hour in the morning or after finishing all your tasks. 2. Use social media with a clear purpose. Are you trying to learn something? Looking for inspiration? Stay focused on that. 3. Don't let TV or social media disrupt your rest time. Remember, sleep is crucial for maintaining productivity. Keep in mind, successful people rarely spend their time just watching TV or scrolling aimlessly. They use their time wisely. You can do it too. Starting now, let's try to use TV and social media as tools, not as distractions. The habit of procrastination. We've all been there. There's a task or work that needs to be done, but for some reason, we choose to delay it. Maybe it's with an excuse like, I'll do it later, or I'm just not in the mood right now. But do you know that procrastination doesn't just lead to a pileup of unfinished work? It also creates inner unease. So what really happens when we procrastinate? First, we push tasks onto tomorrow. Tomorrow should ideally be used for new things, not catching up on tasks that should have been completed today. Second, guilt starts to creep in. Unfinished tasks stay in the back of our minds, making our day feel uncomfortable and stressful. The reasons we procrastinate are often simple: laziness, dislike for the task, or fear of failure. But remember, postponing today's tasks is like stealing time from your future self. So how can we stop procrastinating? Here are some tips. 1. Make a schedule and stick to it. If you set aside specific time for a task, commit to it and focus. 2. Start with the hardest task. We often delay because we're intimidated by difficult tasks. Begin with the hardest one, and the rest will feel easier. 3. Force yourself. Don't wait for the mood. Mood isn't reliable. Just start, and most of the time, the mood will follow. Remember, the world doesn't care whether we're in the mood or not. What matters is that the work gets done. So starting now, let's make it a habit to tackle tasks immediately without delay. You'll notice the difference, not just in your productivity, but also in your peace of mind. Always saying yes to others. There's a habit many of us have that often goes unnoticed but ends up wasting our time. What is it? Always saying yes to other people's requests. If this sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. Saying yes to others isn't inherently wrong. It shows that you're kind and caring. But it becomes a problem when you sacrifice your own time, priorities, and responsibilities just to fulfill those requests. As a result, your work gets delayed and your productivity suffers. The reason we often say yes is because we want to make others happy or fear being seen as uncaring. But in reality, Always saying yes can lead to losing control over your own time. So, what's the solution? How can we say no without feeling guilty? Here are some tips. 1. Set your priorities. Before agreeing to something, think about whether it will interfere with your own tasks or responsibilities. If it does, don't hesitate to say no. 2. Use polite language. For example, say, "Sorry, I'm swamped with work right now, but maybe I can help next time." 3. Be brave enough to say no. Remember, saying no to others means saying yes to yourself. You can still help others, but make sure your own priorities are taken care of first. That way you won't feel overwhelmed or burdened. Remember, life is about balance. Don't be afraid to disappoint others if it's for your own well-being. Be courageous in saying no when necessary, and make wise use of your time. Perfectionism. You've probably heard the saying, "If it's not perfect, it's not worth doing." While aiming to give your best is important, getting trapped in perfectionism can have the opposite effect. Time gets wasted, energy's drained, and tasks are never truly completed. Perfectionism is like a double-edged sword. On one hand, the desire to produce great results can push us to work harder. But on the other hand, if left unchecked, perfectionism can become a major obstacle. The core issue with perfectionism lies in having overly high expectations. The world isn't perfect, and neither are we. If we constantly demand perfection, we'll only exhaust ourselves and end up feeling like failures. In fact, perfectionism often makes us afraid to try because we fear failure. So how can we overcome perfectionism? Here are a few tips. 1. Focus on progress, not perfection. Remember, every small step is part of the journey toward better results. 2. Set time limits. Don't spend too much time on one task. Sometimes done is better than perfect. 3. Accept that mistakes are part of learning. It's through errors that we grow and improve. Remember, perfection isn't everything. What matters far more is progress and consistency. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs those who keep striving and growing. So stop chasing unattainable perfection. Enjoy the process and keep moving forward. Life is too short to spend chasing something that doesn't exist. The habit of multitasking. Multitasking often seems impressive. It feels like, wow, I can handle so many things at once. But hold on. Did you know that multitasking actually does more harm than good? The human brain is like a computer, but is not a supercomputer that can run multiple programs nonstop. When you try to do several things at once, your brain constantly switches focus. The result? None of the tasks get your full attention or effort. First, multitasking reduces productivity. Before finishing one task, you've already moved on to another. As a result, everything ends up half done. Second, it exhausts you faster. Your brain works harder to keep switching focus, which drains your energy quickly. Third, it increases mistakes. Frequent focus shifting makes you more prone to errors. So, how can you break free from the multitasking habit? Here are some tips. 1. Prioritize tasks. Choose the most important task and finish it before moving on to the next. 2. Use focus techniques like the Pomodoro method. Work on one task for a set time without interruptions, then take a break. 3. Minimize distractions. Turn off notifications on your phone or apps that might steal your attention. By focusing on one task at a time, you'll not only finish your work faster but also achieve much better results. Remember, multitasking doesn't mean being productive. On the contrary, it's a shortcut to stress and messy outcomes. So, let's leave multitasking behind. Focus on one thing at a time. You'll be amazed at how much better the results will be. Excessive worry. Have you ever felt anxious about something that hasn't even happened yet? Or perhaps you find yourself overly worried about what could go wrong. If so, you're not alone. Excessive worry is a common issue, and it can drain your time and energy. Anxiety itself is normal. It's our body's way of preparing for challenges. But when it becomes excessive, anxiety turns into a significant obstacle. It leads to overthinking, constantly imagining worst-case scenarios, and ultimately forgetting to take action. Excessive worry can paralyze us. When we're too busy thinking about what might go wrong, we lose focus on what we can do right now. Even worse, this anxiety can spiral into overthinking, wasting our time and causing us to miss opportunities. So, how can we overcome excessive worry? Here are some practical steps. 1. Identify the source of your anxiety. Is it something you can truly control, or is it just a product of your imagination? 2. Focus on action, not thoughts. If there's something you can do, take action now. If not, let it go. 3. Practice relaxation techniques. Try deep breathing, meditation, or physical activities to calm your mind. Remember, anxiety exists only in our minds. Often, what we fear isn't as bad as we think. When we focus on action and stop letting anxiety take over, we become more productive and happier. Life is too short to spend it constantly worrying. So take a deep breath, let go of what you can't control, and focus on what you can. Remember, even a small step forward can make a big difference. Conclusion. We've reached the end of our journey today. From small habits like watching TV and social media to bigger issues like excessive worry, we've learned that time is the most valuable asset we have. Remember, friends, life isn't about how much time we have, but how we use it. By managing our time and habits wisely, we can create a more meaningful and productive life. So starting now, let's improve how we spend our time, set priorities, say no when necessary, and don't be afraid to take action even if it's not perfect. Because every small step we take today is a big investment in our future. See you in the next video.